The air hums before the first word is spoken. You don't know it yet, but the world you're about to wake into was never real. It's too bright, too loud, too desperate to be alive. Every laugh here sounds like it's been practiced. Every sunrise feels pre-rendered. And every heartbeat echoes with the same question. What happens to a joke when it stops being funny? Somewhere inside this question, a creature opens his eyes, small, wide-eyed, trembling between joy and panic. They call him Mort. And before the story even begins, you already know the truth. This isn't a story about a cute lemur. It's about something much worse. It's about what happens when innocence becomes a curse and the world keeps laughing. You wake up smiling because that's what's expected of you. The jungle around you shimmers with fake perfection, leaves too green, sky too blue, everything designed to be delightful. You were made to be harmless. That's your whole identity. You exist to make others feel safe. Your eyes are too big, your voice too high, your soul too small to defend itself. You are the punchline they never stop repeating. Every day, you greet the same faces. Julian dances like a manic god. Maurice sighs like a tired servant. And you worship. You don't know why. You just do. He lifts his foot and you shiver with joy. You whisper his name like a prayer, Julian, and everyone laughs. It's funny, they say, how obsessed you are. How small. How pathetic. They don't see the panic behind the smile. They don't see how it hurts to exist only as a joke. Because somewhere deep inside you know, you weren't written to be free. You were written to be watched. And in this world, being watched is the only kind of life that counts. You used to believe you had a past, a childhood, a beginning. But the more you think about it, the less it makes sense. Where did you come from? Who gave you that name? Why does nobody remember the first time you appeared? You ask Julian and he laughs. You ask Maurice and he changes the subject. You ask the sky and it gives you another sunrise, the same one as yesterday. The truth sinks in slowly. You weren't born. You were rendered. Someone, somewhere, drew you into existence and forgot to give you a reason. That's why you never grow old. Why you never bleed. Why every episode resets when the credits roll. You're not alive. Just animated. You begin to remember flashes, cameras, lights, voices saying, action, and then nothing. Maybe that's all you are. A cute ghost in a looped reality, cursed to smile because the audience expects it. You try to scream, but only your catchphrase comes out and they laugh again. The jungle wakes. Again, same laughter. Same music. Same ridiculous dance under a sun that never burns out. You play your part, repeating your lines, your gestures, your fears. Every day feels both new and old, like someone keeps pressing reset right before you find a way out. You start testing it, changing small things. You move a rock, steal a banana, whisper a different word. But no matter what you do, it all resets. The rock returns, the banana reappears. The word never leaves your throat. You begin to understand, this isn't life, it's maintenance. A machine that replays itself for eternity, powered by laughter and ratings. You're not part of the story anymore. You're the loop that keeps it alive. You smile anyway, because that's what the audience came for. But inside, something breaks. A small, trembling crack in the script that whispers, if nothing ever changes, then maybe I'm already dead. Every paradise needs a villain, and every joke needs someone to fall apart in public. Your enemies are not monsters. They're reflections of what you wish you could be. The predators, the kings, the loud ones. Julian with his god complex. The penguins with their chaos disguised as control. Even the humans who point and laugh thinking they're above it all. But the truth is worse. They're all actors in the same farce, each one trapped in their own loop, pretending their suffering is choice. Pretending they aren't terrified of silence. Julian laughs because if he stops, the world might stop too. The penguins plan missions because stillness means extinction. And you worship because it's the only way to exist. You hate them. You need them. You are them. And somewhere behind every joke you can hear it. A low, metallic hum. The sound of a camera lens focusing. You turn toward it. But there's nothing there. Just the echo of applause that never ends. The world is too beautiful to be honest. The jungle glows like a commercial. The sky looks painted by someone selling happiness. Every leaf shines as if fear were polished away. Madagascar, New York, reboots, spin-offs, different stages, same cage. The jungle isn't a jungle, it's a set. The zoo isn't a prison, it's a showroom. And the audience is a god made of eyes. Silence is the real enemy. No one here can bear it, because silence makes you think. And thinking ruins the illusion. You start to see the pattern. The world only moves when someone's watching. The wind only blows when there's music. The sun only rises when there's a scene to film. Peace is the greatest threat, because if the chaos stops, there's nothing left to distract you from the truth, that none of this is real. So the world keeps dancing, screaming, collapsing, anything but quiet. You try to imagine calm, a day without lines, a morning without noise, but that's the nightmare here. The calm means the end. You finally understand the chaos is what keeps you alive, and the peace you crave would erase you. You start to notice small things first. A laugh that plays twice, a leaf that falls the same way, a line repeated word for word. Then it grows. Days that blend together. Memories that copy and paste themselves. You carve numbers into the dirt to count the days, but they disappear. Only exhaustion remains. The world doesn't move forward. It just reloads. You test it. Run to the horizon. It bends. It folds. It brings you back. Julian repeats the same joke. Maurice sighs on cue. And you realize none of them are alive enough to hear you. You try to scream, but the sound loops back. Your voice comes back to you. Delayed. Identical. It's a glitch wearing your face. Maybe you died. Maybe you were never alive. The sun flickers. The sound skips. And somewhere, you can almost hear it. A click, a reset, an edit. The loop isn't punishment. It's preservation. As long as everything repeats, the show never ends. And if the show never ends, neither do you. But one day, the rhythm stutters. A sound plays half a second late. And you whisper to yourself, if I knew the ending, maybe I could escape. But you already know. There is no ending, only replay. Always replay. One day, if time still means anything, and silence arrives. No laughter. No music, just stillness. You think it's peace. You think you finally broke the cycle. The air feels new, the sky unfamiliar. The world too quiet to be fake. You walk, slowly, freely. Each step feels like discovery. Each breath like forgiveness. You touch a rock. It feels real. A bird sings once and doesn't repeat. You almost cry. Then the stillness stretches. Too long, too empty. You start to feel it, the wrongness of it. The sun doesn't move. The air doesn't stir. The world isn't alive. It's paused. This isn't peace. It's paralysis. You open your mouth, but your voice won't come out. The world isn't broken. It's waiting. Then you hear it. A voice. Mine. You did it, Mort. You reached the end. And in that moment, you realize the end was never escape. It was observation. Someone still watching, waiting for your reaction, waiting to hit play again. You smile, tired and hollow, because you understand now the story never ends. It just restarts somewhere else, fade to black. The screen goes dark. You think it's over. It isn't. You're still here, and so am I. You watched Mort suffer thinking you were different. You thought you were outside the story, but you're not. You're part of the loop, the audience that keeps it alive. You came for tragedy and stayed for comfort. You laughed at pain because it looked animated, because it wasn't yours, but it is. You live in loops too, scrolling, consuming, repeating. Different faces, same emptiness. Mort just had the misfortune of noticing. And me? I'm only the voice that makes sure it keeps happening. Because while I speak, you listen. And while you listen, Mort breathes. You think he's the prisoner, but you're the one who can't turn away. You came here looking for meaning and found a mirror, a lemur-shaped reflection of your own repetition. Why does it suck to be Mort, you ask? Because he knows he's being watched. And you don't. The loop was never his, it was yours. The next video is already waiting. The next tragedy disguised as another cartoon, you'll click, you'll watch. And the cycle will begin again. You wake, you fight, you fail. And that's why it sucks to be Mort. You survived the loop. See you in the next tragedy disguised as a cartoon.